What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. So we got some breaking news right now regarding your mans, Gervonta, Tuck Davis, and Floyd, down bad. Mayweather, Floyd, no money, Mayweather, 100%. Now, for you man who don't know, it kind of kicked off a few weeks ago when the Rolly Romero versus Tuck Davis fight was announced. Tank came out. Tank, aka Tuck, scary ass dude who only fight gym random ass bum ass dudes ain't no one ever heard of before, and or 2 weight divisions smaller, came out and said, Floyd keeps holding me back. He keep making me fight these random ass dudes, etc., etc. Now, Floyd came out and said, oh, well, I make smart investments, and, people go in different directions, and, I'm a smart businessman, and I make smart investments, and, Tank Davis, and I make smart investments, and, Tank Davis, and my business is, I've got so much, all that kind of stuff. You know what Floyd's like, waffling about everything but the actual question. Yeah, 100%. Since then, in the last few hours, the beef's escalated. Tank ain't letting it go. He doubles down. He put a post out, which, by the way, he shortly deleted afterwards, that said, lol, Nicker. Nicker had a press conference today and a fight on the same day as me. No matter how much money you have, you can still be a jealous looking ass F-boy. Wow, this was deep. Super deep. And to some extent, I do rate Tank. Why? Well, it's better late than never. A lot of people get cucked. Yeah, for example, what's that cat's name? Oh, Floyd Mayweather's got a history of cucking people. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather's stable back in 2013 was booming. He had people like, I've forgot their names now, obviously they're all bums, but Jalen Love and a few other ones. Anyway, recently, about 10 years later, they've come out and exposed Floyd for being a bum-ass promoter. Weird-ass promoter, especially given the fact that Floyd has criticised Bob Arum for doing things. Really, Floyd's even worse. Why? Well, of all the fighters who have come out and criticised Floyd, guess what? None of them have made any money. Oops, they're all broke. 100%. At least with Bob Arum, yeah? Pacquiao rich. In fact, all of Bob Arum's fighters are rich. Oops. So it's all well and good Floyd criticising Bob Arum. Bob Arum makes his fighters rich. Floyd, one guy was saying he has to sell cars now. He's selling cars. Oops. And my man was on Showtime shows 10 years ago, and he's selling cars now because Floyd put his cousin in charge of all of the fighters, and his cousin was a bum-ass dude, a bum-ass hood dude trying to come up. That's your man Floyd. Yeah? Bob Arum, no matter what you say about Bob, his fighters get paid, and I'm talking properly paid as well, because his fighters are balling. How many Bob Arum fighters do you see selling cars? Oops, none. There you go then. But anyway, like I said, I respect Tank to some extent because he's still young. A lot of these old dudes came out in the last year or so and exposed Floyd, but guess what? They're 37, 8 years old. Their career's been done. And to be quite frank, none of them, man, had the talent of Tank. And I think that's what's important here. Floyd would love to do what he did with them, man. Jalen Love and them, man, with Tank. The difference is, Tank has too much talent. Tank's talent is hard to hold down. That's what Floyd... Even, don't get me wrong, Floyd's trying his best. You best believe it as well. Floyd is trying his best to keep Tank's talent in a box. I mean, how can you be 10 fights, 30 fights into your career, and he still hasn't fought for a belt? When was the last time Tank fought for a belt? When was the last time Tank fought a genuine top 5 name? Oops. Yeah? It's shocking. Now, I'm not going to blame Floyd completely because, yes, we know these facts about Floyd. And on that basis, the fact that Tank's now exposing Floyd, what this tells us is, guess what, Tank? You best make some actions now. Because before, I gave Tank kind of, yeah, I held, Tank's a big man himself. He's not big, but Tank's a grown-ass man is the point. So, yeah, we can give Floyd some responsibility, but you're not 5 years old. You're 25-year-old yourself. If you don't like things, number one, call it out. If you've got a contract and you can't get out of the contract, expose it publicly. Number two, leave the guy if you can. So Tank's doing the calling out now. If his contract's up, let's see if he does the walking. And that's the bottom line here, I do want to say. Before I go on and roast Floyd, I do want to say, Tank keeps woofing. All I'm saying is, Tank, do not let me hear your contract is up and you re-sign with Floyd. If you do, I ain't trying to hear nothing. Because that's what actually happened with a lot of these J. Leon Love and them, man. J. Leon Love, well, it's not him, it's the other guy. I forgot his name now, but a guy came out recently and did the rounds exposing Floyd. Yeah? Now, the guy admitted himself, Floyd's really bad, but then said that he re-signed with Floyd 3 or 4 times. And there's quite a lot of that stuff going around. People complain and then re-sign. It's like, what the fuck? I'm sorry. Yeah? It can't have been that bad. Oh, well, I was loyal to Floyd. Listen, you man are boneheads. You have to create loyalty. So don't end up the same as the rest of these bum dudes. Because you'll have no one to blame but yourself. And the fact you're unlike one thing Tank's doing now, yeah, that their man didn't, is expose Floyd. Their man was beaters to Floyd. Even 5-foot Napoleon ass Floyd was their daddy. That's the problem, you see. A lot of these man was in Floyd's pockets, and that's why none of them came out publicly. Now Tank's made enough money on his own where he feels confident enough to some extent, because don't forget, he did delete this message, so he ain't that balling, is he? Because if he was, he'd have come out and said, listen, Floyd. If anything, actually, if I was managing Tank, I'd say, listen, Tank, we know Floyd loves to do exhibitions. We know Floyd's active. If I was Tank now, yeah, I'd come out and say, listen, Floyd, listen, you old ass slaphead. Yeah? If you want some, come get some. I'll knock your old ass out. I'll make you 50-1. How about that, oops? Yeah? 100%. Right now, Tank should be airing Floyd out and demanding a fight. Yeah? If you want my contract, fight me for it. 100%. That's what Tank should be doing right now. And Tank should be saying, listen, Floyd, stop fighting bums. Stop fighting old sparring partners and come get some of this young buck. Let me tax that old ass of yours, that old wrinkly ass you got. Yeah? Let me, listen, Floyd, let me slap that bald head, and let me tax that wrinkly ass. That's what Tank should be doing, but instead he's deleting tweets. Which tells you he's scared still. Which tells you he still sees Floyd as his daddy. He's scared to flee the nest. That's why he's deleting things. He ain't really won it like that. Yeah? He's still calling Floyd daddy, pappy. All that kind of zesty shit. Now, as far as Floyd goes, I mean, I've been telling you, man, Floyd is like a Napoleonic female. Yeah? He a 5-foot looking ass Napoleonic female. Which means, what can we say? I've told you this. We all knew this. Most people who have any IQ know what Floyd's like. There was a video of Floyd and Kobe Bryant. It's on YouTube. And all you hear is Floyd's mouth going. Kobe's kind of sitting there thinking, damn, this chihuahua don't shut up. And Floyd, because Floyd's small, yeah, and he was in front of a load of big men, Floyd had to kind of recompensate by being a big mouth. But what you don't realise is, having a big mouth does not add 2 feet to your height. It just makes you look like a big loud yapping chihuahua. Yeah? But because Floyd's surrounded by man fans, like Leonard Snouterby, big snout, no one will check him and say, listen, Floyd, you need to get some counselling, because you've got some serious issues. You've got Napoleonic complex. Yeah. You woof like you're 6'5", but you are really 4'9". That's what he needs to be told, and I'd tell him that straight to his face. I don't care what you think I don't care what money or investments you think you've got. To me, you're 4 foot and you woof like a big female Chihuahua dog. Yeah? How about that? Now, again, Floyd putting the press conference on the same day as Tank's and putting the fight on the same day as Tank's. This ain't surprising. Tank, we've been saying this. I've been saying for the last 3 years, Tank, he holding you back. Tank, he don't want to let you shine. Word for word, I've been saying that. What Tank been doing? Tank, time and time again, had no problem fighting bums. When it was convenient for Tank to fight bums for a bunch of coin, he'd say nothing. So I'm sorry, you don't have no sympathy. Yeah, 'cause that's Floyd. Well, I mean, why do you think you're in the situation you're in? Why do you think you're making loads of money to fight bums? It works both ways. You can't say, oh, Floyd, he weird, he's zesty, he like a female, and then say nothing when that same zesty female Napoleonic Donny is putting you in bum fights to hold you back, like a female does. Yeah, women, when they're women, yeah, when one of their girlfriends gets a new man, if the new man is fire, the girlfriend will be mad. Do you understand? She'll be seething. Although to the face they'll say, oh, I'm really happy for you. Behind closed doors, them bitches will be doing voodoo dolls, hoping that she falls on her face. Hoping that she, you know what I mean? Trying to work out how to get some acid and put it on her face. Because they get that bitter. Same as Floyd. That's why Floyd be putting his press conference on the same day as yours. Be putting his fight on for the same day as yours. He big bitter. He can't let anyone else shine. But you've been knowing that. You've been benefiting from that. So spare me the whole whatever. At this point, Tank or Tuck Davis needs to suck it up and let his actions start speaking. Like I said, either you call Floyd out, say, Floyd, you're a goofy ass, jealous ass, female looking ass dude. I want you bad. Let me get some of the exhibition. Yeah, I want to tax that ass of yours, that old ass. Or you can just leave. Yeah? But do something. Make some action. Control your situation. And if anything, to be honest with you, the reason it's so important for Tank to make an actual action now is because if he doesn't, he's just becoming like Floyd. Because what do women do? They get on Twitter, they make a big song and dance, and then they delete it. Yeah? Emotional. You know what I'm saying? Oh, go crazy on Twitter. Then the next morning they realise they was wrong and delete the message. That's female Napoleonic 101. And that's what Tank be doing right now. No action, no follow through. It's like the woman, yeah, the woman who's been abused. She'll kick off and tell her parents, oh, he keep whooping on me, and next day she goes straight back there. So what are you moaning for? Just shut up, innit? Either leave or keep your mouth shut. No one's trying to hear you moan and woof and put tweets out. And the next day we see you there playing Happy Family, reposting, talking about how much you love your boo with your black eye that you fell down the stairs with. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my boo looking after me after I fell down the stairs yesterday. No, he whooped you. You know what I'm saying? He whooped you and you was tweeting about it. Now you're talking about how happy you are, your boo be looking after you. Yeah, and nursing you back to health. Goofy ass. 100%. So Tank, there's no doubt Tank is involved in some sort of abusive relationship right now. Yeah, his pappy, Floyd, doing him wrong. But like I said, you gotta make some action for yourself. Because this whole going in circles is dead and played out. And no one trying to hear no more of it. So either put up or shut up. 100%.